Hey guys, so today I'm showing you how to make my very easy and delicious pineapple pastry. So I like to call this Pina Colada Pocket Pies. So it's kind of like an apple pie but made with pineapples instead, sweet pineapples, and then I top it with some vanilla bean ice cream and drizzle it with a nice pineapple spice syrup. Okay, so let's get started on this yummy dessert. Okay, you guys, so I'm gonna get my pot and I'm starting by emptying 1 can of pineapple chunks. If you want, you could chop up the pineapple chunks into smaller pieces, or you can leave it as is. Okay, so I'm doing 1 can and I remove the liquid. You don't want to add the liquid in the pot. Okay, so just the pineapples, and then I'm gonna add about a cup of brown sugar, some white sugar, then I'm gonna add in a little bit of, so I'm using vodka. You could use any type of white rum that you have, will work perfect here. Okay, so just a little bit, not too much, because you don't want to add too much liquid in the pineapples. All right, so after I add in my liquor, I'm gonna add in some rum extract. You could also add a little bit of vanilla extract, and then I'm gonna add some ground cinnamon into the mix. All right, also the creamy white stuff I'm adding, that's cream of coconut, so I added about a tablespoon of that. And then you want to mix everything together until the sugar basically dissolves and start mixing really well with the rest of the ingredients in the pot. Okay, and I'm gonna let that cook for about 5 minutes or so. So when you're making this, it's not gonna thicken up too much. It's still gonna be somewhat liquidy, and that's totally fine. All right, it's gonna look more off, you want it to look more off like a syrup. Okay, so it's fine if it's not sticky. You're not really looking for it to be sticky because we're gonna use the syrup in the ending. All right, so let it cook for about 5 minutes and then turn it off the stove, set it aside, let it cool a little. And while it's cooling, I'm gonna spray my baking dish with some non-stick cooking spray. Okay, and let's get ready to make the dough. So I'm using puff pastry sheets. I got it from my local supermarket, so this makes this so much easier. We don't have to make the dough itself, and it comes out perfect. All right, so just get you some puff pastry sheets and roll it out pretty flat, but don't roll it out to where it's like tearing on you. So just follow the package directions on how to thaw out the puff pastry sheets. All right, then sprinkle a little bit of flour on the counter surface and roll out the puff pastry. Don't forget to dust the rolling pin as well. And what I'm gonna do after I roll out the puff pastry is kind of mark out how I'm gonna cut the pastry for my pies. Okay, so just mark out how you're gonna cut it and then cut it out. So you can make about 9 pastries out of this one sheet, and then you'll just have to roll out a second puff pastry sheet to cover the top of each pies. Okay, all right, you guys, so next I'm gonna make some egg wash. So in a separate bowl, I added 1 egg and just a little bit of water, about a tablespoon of water. Mix it together really well, and that's gonna be my egg wash to brush the edges of the pastry. So brush the edges of the pastry, and then I'm gonna take my pineapple filling and I'm gonna put about a tablespoon in the middle of each of the pastry. Then on the side, I rolled out another puff pastry sheet and scored it the same way. So I cut it out the same way. I made 9 squares, and I'm gonna take 1 piece to cover the top of each of the puff pastry with the pineapple filling. Okay, and basically you're just gonna press the edges to close the pie really well. Make sure it's sealed pretty good. You want to seal that good filling on the inside. Then I'm gonna take my fork and kind of press down on the edges to close it even better. Okay, and it's also gonna add a nice design to the pocket pies. Okay, Okay, and after I do that, I like to use a knife to kind of clean up the sides of the pies. All right, so just make it look straight and nice, clean it up. Then I'm gonna place the pies on my sprayed baking dish. Okay, you guys, and once you finish forming all of your pina colada pies and you place them on the baking dish, what you're going to do is brush the top of each pies with the egg wash again. Okay, so this is to add that nice golden brown color on it while it's baking, so brush it pretty well. And then what you're gonna do after that is use your knife to kind of make a few slits on each of the pies. So I make about 3 slits, kind of going diagonally on top of the pies. And yeah, that after that, you're going to place them to bake in the oven at 375 until they've puffed up and they're nice and golden brown. Okay, and when they're finished, they should look something like this: puffy and golden brown and delicious. And we're finished baking our pineapple pina colada pies. Such a simple dessert, but it's so good, especially when you top it with the toppings I'm about to add next. Okay, so I'm gonna be using some vanilla icing first. Okay, so let the pies cool and then make a simple vanilla icing. To make mine, I had previously made some and had it in my refrigerator. So to make the vanilla icing, I just add some powdered sugar, some vanilla extract, and a little bit of milk. You mix that together. Basically, you slowly add milk until the icing is at the consistency you're looking for. Okay, you add it a little bit at a time. Okay, and then you just take that and we're gonna drizzle the vanilla icing all over the pies. Okay, you guys, so once the pies are cool and you add your vanilla icing, what I'm gonna do is get my vanilla bean ice cream, or your favorite flavor of ice cream, but I think vanilla ice cream will work best, and get an ice cream scoop and add a nice big scoop on top of the pies. Next, I'm taking that syrup from the pineapple filling that we made earlier, and I'm just gonna drizzle some of that delicious filling on top of my ice cream. You could add a few of the chunks of the pineapples if you have any left in the pot. And that is it, you guys. That's how I made this delicious dessert. It's so comforting. It's the perfect nice little treat when you want something to just comfort your soul. So I hope you guys give the recipe a try. If you do, let me know how it turned out, how it tastes. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I hope you give it a try, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.